Did you see the questions about your past positions from the perspective of race being as relevant as they are?
No, and I don't think they're relevant because they're taken out of context. What I didn't see is people who know me. I mean, they know me well. It's not like it's somebody who just came out of the blue, didn't know anything. But it's so easy to go back 30, 40, 50 years and take a context and take it completely out of context.
Hey,
Come
what
on,
happens most in a debate, Mr. Vice President? People blow their time cue. You're the only person I've ever seen on a debate stage say, I'm out of time.
Well, we never had a place where you have 30 seconds, man. What I didn't want to do is get in that scrum. Do you think the American public looked at that debate, take me out of it, and thought, boy, I really like the way that's being conducted. They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man.
But they're going to come after you.
Sure, they're going to come after me.
Were you prepared for them to come after you?
I was prepared for them to come after me, but I wasn't prepared for the person coming at me the way she came out. She knew Bo. She knows me. Anyway.
And that's the desperate sound of the end of a campaign. Good morning, it's Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Afternoon Drive right here on YouTube. And I told you that Joe Biden was not in it to win it. He's a place setter. I know you don't believe that. I know you think I'm crazy when I keep talking about the fact Hillary is going to jump back in. See, the Libloons could not resist eating one of their own. And they went hard after Joe Biden, which they should. He is a walking, talking buffoon and always has been. What propped him up all these years was the fact he got to be vice president under Barack Obama. Now, why did Obama pick Biden? Was it because of his stellar character, his incredible ability within the hallowed halls of Congress to get things done because he was such a smart brain trust? No, because he's a hanger-oner, a clinger, and was never any type of existential threat to President Obama as far as working behind the scenes to try to discredit Obama in the hopes of himself sitting in that Oval Office. Joe Biden in the corporate world would always be, he would be middle management. And that's all he would ever aspire to, and that's all he would ever really accomplish. He's one of those guys that wouldn't have had a job if his uncle didn't own the business, if his father wasn't involved as an investor in the company. So, he's in trouble. They've gone after him on his record regarding busing. And there's a part of me that just wants to, allow the fire to just continue to build here. But I do have to correct the record here. Joe Biden was against forced busing. Forced busing. Which, by the way, most Americans in the 1970s were. White and black were against forced busing. He was not against the integration of schools. He was against forced busing. He was against busing white kids an hour and a half to another school district. He was opposed to black kids being bused an hour to an hour and a half out of their neighborhood and safe zone into a place that was completely unfamiliar and possibly hostile to them. It was an infringement on the basic human right of live where you want to live. Seriously, why do most couples, especially young couples with families or wanting to start a family, when they pick a house, is it just because they like the house and the neighborhood? What's one of the deciding factors in there, along with price and location? Schools. What are the schools like in this area? People live in an area where they want to raise their family. It's where they want their family educated. It's where they want to be together. So this was a huge infringement on that right, and it was wildly unpopular. And what doesn't get talked about in today's narrative is the fact that it finally was pulled. And Democrats were responsible to helping it get pulled because it was their policy they created. They forced it. They made it happen. They got it signed into law, and then realizing what an abject failure it was, they pulled the plug. But they don't talk about that. Kamala Harris, making you think she was bust because she had no choice. She was just this poor yeah, it's a total BS distortion of what actually happened. But Biden didn't handle it right from jump. He wanted to talk about, I marched with Martin Luther King, and even though I didn't actually march, by sitting in my office and enacting legislation, I marched with Dr. King. He hasn't helped himself. And what would help him, and you hear him there grasping a little bit, what nobody's talking about are the people that really know me, that really know my record. That's a dog whistle for Barack Misopotamus. Barack, I was your number 2 guy for 8 years. Will you please come out and endorse me? Or would you at least come out and say, I've known Joe Biden. He was my vice president. Do you think I would have a vice president by my side that was racist? Ain't no Barack. But all that's a dog and pony show. The establishment Democrats know that what they've got for candidates right now are way too far to the left, way too extreme, and way too socialist to become elected president. And even this week, you had Beto O'Rourke, the fake Latino Irish boy, and Julian Castro coming out and siding with Colin Kaepernick over the banning of the Betsy Ross flag on a Nike shoe. And all it took was, a few minutes of a Google search and the pictures of Barack Obama, his second inauguration. What was flying behind him? Betsy Ross flags. Would America's first African American president fly a racist flag behind him as he was being inaugurated into the highest office of the land? Short answer to that is no. So this whole so far out there, so far leftist, so far extremist, give every American $1,000. We'll just take it from corporations and their profits and free this and free. You got Bernie just driving around with the free mobile, free education, free cars, free job, free. You don't have to do all that. And an economy as great as this one, because they got nothing. And the establishment Democrats, the blue dog Democrats, they know that. So here comes Joe Biden, the sane, middle of the road, kind of that blue collar Democrat, but he doesn't have it to win it. He was there as a place setter. And now his numbers are tanking. He's going to step out in the next week or two. He is. He's going to step out. And then Hillary is going to come out of nowhere and say, look, these other candidates, they are way too far to the left. I got this. And I need a rematch with Donald Trump. And this time, we need to set the record right. We need to get rid of the orange man and elect the woman. That's where this is heading. That is my prediction. And that is my rant for today. I welcome your comments. Even the negative ones, even the nasty ones. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Share it. Post it elsewhere on social media. Help spread the word about this channel. Make sure you have subscribed to this channel. And remember, I'm the guy who comes on here. I'm not trying to sell you any t-shirts, coffee mugs. Once in a while, you'll watch me take a sip of coffee. But at the end of the day, this isn't about left versus right. It's about right versus wrong. It's not about conservative versus Democrat. It's about us versus them. And the them, they have sucked in rhino Republicans, they have sucked in the Democratic Party, and they've sucked in some of the libloons who are part of the Circus Act. We're setting the record straight. Right here, spread the word, smack the bell, get my next rant.